Okay, working on a gear case. It's a 60 horsepower Yamaha. It's a 2000 model, 1990, 2000. So this is a prop shaft. This is where your prop is and the prop nut. And then, you have the bearing carriers riding. There's two seals. Yeah, you guys, I was editing some video and some things, man, you just get where you're doing it really fast. So sometimes you just gotta slow down. So this is pretty much like a lot of prop shafts. I'm working on this Yamaha 60 horsepower, and the guy hit something and he bent the shaft. So we're replacing it with a new shaft. And you'll notice I already have the clutch dog on it. But in the video, you're going to see what I do. But I wanted to come out here and shoot some more video because here we have the shaft, and you'll be able to see and that you have this little area where there's a pin that goes all the way across. And on that pin, this dog clutch right here slides back and forth. See, I can do it. I can push it really hard. So right here on this shaft, you're going to see this. And I got to get the bifocals. And see, there's a little F. Alright, so this is going to be forward. You would think, oh, okay, well, this is actually rear and this is forward. So, know that. Your thicker end is what's going to go back against the bearing carrier. And what holds this thing in, when you see that forward, I don't know if you can see it. See, there's a little pin, and that pin goes all the way across to holds this in. Now, how it's under pressure is there's a spring that goes down through the middle of this barrel. Okay, and then there's a little kind of pin. It's not very big. And it's got a hole in it. So I have a press. And I just took a real small diameter punch. And then what I did was I put the wood on the bottom. And then I took my, my press. And I pushed down in order to compress the spring and that groove, so that you could put the pin in. And then the last thing you need to do is take this little spring. What I should have done was put it in the press, put the spring up here. So when I press this all in, I could have just done like this and it would have covered up the holes. But honestly, once you do that, it's under pressure. Right? It's under pressure. So to keep that pin from sliding in or out, you put this little spring on it. Alright, so to keep this from moving in or out, it's got this little spring. And the way I got it off and on was just with a pick. See, it just holds the spring in. See, it moves back and forth pretty freely, and there's gear oil in this area, so it's fine. But right there you can see the little pin, but that keeps that pin on both sides. See, here's the other side. That's all there is to it. And then when you put this in, there's going to be a shift plunger that's right in the front, and you're going to send that in, and then this area right here is going to ride on your bearing, and that's really all there is to it. So the next thing I got to do is I've got to install the new seals and the bearing carrier, which I have, and I've ordered a shift plunger, so it's coming. When I took this apart, I didn't see any shift plunger. And I've thought about it, thought about it, thought about it. I'm almost 190% sure that I never saw it come out. I've looked for it. The other thing about this is notice that this here can only go down so far. There's a little ridge, and like I said, almost all of them are exactly this way, so they're engaging the reverse gear or engaging the forward gear, and it's going to be dependent on where this is pushed in, and that's on the shift linkage, which is right here. So depending on where that's pushed in is going to determine what gear this is in. So we're going to have to put this together and see what happens there. But I've looked inside here. I didn't find the shift plunger. And when I took this apart, I don't recall a shift plunger. And I really wasn't paying enough attention to realize if that shift plunger was in there or not. I don't know. I'm certain that the customer didn't take it apart. I'm 100% sure of that. So, did it fall out? I just forgot to check it. So if you're ever doing this, remember you got a shift plunger in the front of this, and don't lose that piece, because right off the bat, it's gonna cost you $20. Yeah, I got this Yamaha. I can't remember what it is, 60, and it's got a bent shaft. So you look at that right now and you say, that's no way near, that can't be bent. But then, you know, you look down the shaft, it's totally bent. So we got to take what's on here and put it on the new shaft. And, you know, I guess this was customer supplied. So let's just make sure that he supplied me with part number 688-45611-00. Genuine Yamaha part. So we'll see. We shall see. It looks to be the same. Looks to be identical. This one, yeah, I mean they're identical. So what we gotta do here is we have to get this spring off of here so it releases the clutch. And there's a what it is there's a right here, there's the little pin that goes through there. So the best thing to do is get a pick or something, and you know they're usually pretty loose. You'd think they were super tight, but not really. Alright. Get my eyeballs in here. Just don't prick yourself. You just gotta get one started. Just run along here like so. Pretty soon then you'll have two. just keep working it off. Like I said, don't stab yourself. I don't know if you guys can see, but you kind of got to get underneath it and then pull. See how I'm pulling? And keep your fingers out of the way. And there's nothing wrong with the clutch, dog. Yeah, just don't stab yourself. It'll come out of there. Yeah, once we get... Just took a minute to get it on. And then once you're through. You know, it'll go back on the same way. And then we got this little pin. And you just push it through, man. You know, I'm going to use a punch. Just something that's smaller than the diameter of that hole. And it'll push right through. Get your punch back out, and there's a spring. So this is held on the end, and then that comes off with the spring. So that's the hardest part, is pushing this back in. So you kind of almost want to put it in something, I think, because now to go back together. We're gonna line up our holes, I think. Oh yeah, there's an F for front, or forward, I guess. So we're a little off on that one. Yeah, so it fits right in there. Then I need something to push this dude down. I need a light. I could see where you stab yourself. So if I could put it in my press, I would prefer to do that, or put it in a pair of jaws, maybe. Probably be better. Couple pieces of wood.
What are you doing?
Trying to stab myself.
Don't do that.
I know it. Gotta figure out a better plan here. Put it in a vise or use my dealy bobber here.
Check this out.
They're cheap.
$5 for that.
Oh, really?
For that pair. It's 11-inch. It's got that. I thought that'd be great to put in the boat for whenever it gets down there real deep.
Oh, yeah.
And totally. It happens.
Oh, it does.
We needed one a while back, I remember, and I was like, man, I'm just going to go buy one.
Right.
So I was in there, I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, I need to look over there.
Yeah.
And also, in Harbor Freight, on Fishing and Stuff's YouTube channel,
yeah,
they got boxes, dude, sealed boxes, like for, you know, you could use them for tackle. And you know, like the one I use for
hooks,
for weights.
Yeah.
Well, you could get one like that, and it's a sealed case.
Well, especially those chatterbaits, man. They're bad about rusting. If they get any water on them, forget about it.
But they got some cases in there at Harbor Freight
Okay.
that you can't get at Academy or Bass Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not... I mean, I would have saw it fall. It wouldn't went anywhere. I mean, literally, I had to go back and watch the video.
What's the
but
spindle go on? What motor,
I didn't even...
What lower unit?
This is on that Yamaha.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It should have had a pin in the very front of it. Unless it did. It was laying up here. Alright, well, this is what I came up with to get this pin in. I got it lined out. I got it pushed down. I got a piece of wood on the bottom. And then I just have this where now I can put this all the way through to the other side. Maybe. There it goes. And now I can release it and put our spring on so that that doesn't fall out. If I would have been smart, I would have put my spring right here, and then I could have just done it like on this. But I don't know how you do this without a press. I really don't. So it shouldn't spring forward, you know, when I let it down. But I will have to put that spring on, so I'm gonna go do that. Should hold enough tension it won't come off. Okay, so I just told my customer that since I'm in here, you know, you need to pretty much replace your seals. So we got 2 seals right here that we need to pop out of there. So this is missing the keyway too. Huh. Well, surely I didn't put that somewhere. Where would I put it? Alright, now you got me thinking. So a very important piece is this little keyway right here. This is a very important piece. So don't lose your keyway. It's just as important as that shift plunger. So, see, I put some grease on it though, and then do like that. But that's a very important piece, so don't lose that little bitty guy right there. And then the next thing is I need to get these 2 seals out. You can see one is up, and then the other one is going to be down. But we need to get those out. And I put it in a vise, couple of just some like I'll take some wood, put it around the jaws, get it taut, and then if you heat up around here, helps a lot, because a lot of times they put some red Loctite, and you know, to prevent it from turning on you. So you've got to break that red Loctite down and then pop them out. So it won't hurt anything, and then we're going to maybe hose it down real good with some kind of brake clean or something like that, and then lube it up. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll take this O-ring off and replace it. I got a new O-ring. But I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning. Or at least it'll be Monday morning for me. I don't know when you'll see them. Alright, I got my bearing carrier. I'm going to put it in my vise. But, so this thing got hit. And I'm sort of like wondering, see, this is, like, this is a thrust washer. But, man, I mean, that seems weird to me. I'm going to have to look into this because I got a thrust washer. Put that somewhere. That washer's just supposed to be like a shim. I think they even call it a shim. I'm going to have to set this somewhere where it can't get bent or anything. You know. But I got new seals. and everything for it. But see, like that, see, I just don't think this thing is pressed down all the way. I don't know. And then this is the O-ring that's got to come out. So I'm thinking this gear is not maybe pressed all the way on. But, I mean, the bearing seems to be alright. Well, we got to get these seals out of here. So what do? Well, you got to heat it up. So I'm going to put it in a vise with 2 pieces of wood. I have these little pieces. Just put it in there like so. Have another piece. Get it the right way. Doesn't have to be real hard, just something that like I can pry this out, but I gotta heat this up. So, and then I gotta have a little pry bar to pry it out. So I have Grandpa Chandler's little wrench. That works pretty good. Or like this little one. And I have this next size up. So, you know, if it won't come off, like, and just check yourself, because you may have to get just a little extra bite. Just enough I can get underneath it. You don't want to pop on you. Just so much you can do about it, I think. Get a little different, better. You guys can see me just be, you know, you just gotta kind of hold it down. See if you can get underneath it, pop it out. So like I said, you may have to heat this up. Nope, it came out. Alright, so this one was in this direction, which is where the spring is. So inside here, hopefully this will show up. See how there's a little bitty spring. Okay, so this one was up. So then we got to get the next one. So they were both in like this, exactly both in the same direction. I thought they should be opposite, but they're not. So that one was just like that too. So they were both sitting like this. Just clean out your inside. And then you got your bearings up there, so you don't want to, you know, just try to get all your sealing surface cleaned as best you can. So there's bearings up in there. See the bearings up in there? You know, we could do just about anything there. I recommend just going ahead and putting a bunch of good grease around that. Even though you're going to have 2-stroke oil, it's going to lubricate that. Since we got it apart, might as well put some good grease on it. And then I got a seal driver somewhere, and we'll set this back down like so. And we'll drive those seals in. It looks pretty good though. I got some goof off. I'm gonna go around the surface of this, or even with the Scotch-Brite pad, and clean this, because that doesn't, like, you can feel it with your hand. It doesn't feel good and smooth. So I've got just a Scotch-Brite pad. And And then I got this stuff, this goof off is real good for this. Hear that, or just take some, like I got some bottles of this beach well. Sometimes I just pour this in a gas, you know. But I just take this. Whoa! Whoa! Hey! And just go around it. Same thing with like this. Clean this all up. Because remember, when this goes in, this is going to be a sealing surface as well. And then you're going to do the same thing for this guy. Just try to get that as clean as you can. Anyway, you get the idea. See how it's very, very... maybe you can't. See how it's very, very... like it needs a light sanding. It really does. Just kind of don't want it to, you know, you don't want to go crazy with this, but we want to clean it up. And you can definitely see the area where it wasn't sealing very well. And then it kind of causes a lot of corrosion. You need that area to seal. We're just going to rough it up a little bit. As we go back together with it, we'll put a bunch of perfect seal around it. And it'll be fine. Alright. So you can see right there, it wasn't sealing very well. Yeah. Yeah. Just so it can seal. And then on the inside of here, we don't want to get too crazy. We just want to, so there's a little bit of an area. It's almost like doing crosshatch. And we're just going to feel it with our finger. There's one little area right here, and that, I mean, that helps too with the new seals, because then they'll go in right. Alright, you guys, I got this done. I drove the seals in. Camera died on me, so, or I can't find the file. I'm not sure what happened. Might be time to reformat cards, but you just want to look at it, make sure it looks good. It did. I have this driver, I think it was, actually it was a smaller one. Just gotta find the right diameter. So like this one's fit right in there, and you just get her down there. And then on your seals, just take a little red Loctite, put around them, drive them home, and you'll be in good shape. I'm sorry the camera died, you didn't see that, but it's really not that big a deal. Just get them started, like by your hand, and then just use a seal driver and drive them in. I mean, you could use, you could use this dimension if you had a good socket. My brother bought me this seal driver, so I used it. Anyway, hey, this is Jeff, Hawkeye Marine, and we'll see you next time.